In the heart of a bustling African town, under the shade of the old mahogany tree by the river, a beautiful love story blossomed. This was the story of Ethan and Olivia. From the moment they met at university, it was like their souls recognized each other. They were inseparable, a perfect pair who laughed together, studied together, and dreamed together. Every evening, as the sun painted the sky in shades of orange and purple, they would sit by the river, their hands intertwined, imagining a future filled with the laughter of children and the warmth of a shared home. Ethan would often hold Olivia's hand, his voice full of conviction, and whisper, "One day, we'll have a home so full of warmth that no storm could ever touch us." Olivia would smile back, her eyes shining with the same unwavering hope. "As long as we have faith in each other," she'd reply, "we can face anything." Their love was the kind you read about in books. Their families approved wholeheartedly, and their friends looked on with a mix of admiration and envy at the deep connection they shared. Everything felt perfect, as if their path together was blessed and written in the stars. Love for them seemed invincible. As their wedding day drew closer, they decided to take a routine health checkup. In their community, it was a common and respected part of the pre-marriage process, a way to ensure a healthy start to their new life. They wanted everything to be perfect, leaving nothing to chance, because their future was something they cherished deeply. They visited Dr. Mensah, their kind and wise family doctor, who had known them both for years. He greeted them with his usual warm smile, but there was a gentle gravity in his eyes that they hadn't seen before. He motioned for them to sit down. "Ethan, Olivia." He began slowly, "I have your results, and there's something important we need to discuss. It's crucial that you both understand this." Ethan and Olivia glanced at each other, their hands instinctively tightening their grip. Their hearts began to beat a little faster, a nervous rhythm against the doctor's calm voice. And then the news came. A genetic incompatibility. Dr. Mensah explained with great care and compassion that while their love was undeniably real and strong, moving forward without caution could lead to serious health challenges for their future children. For a moment, it felt as though the entire world had frozen. The gentle hum of the town outside seemed to fade, and the river they loved so much fell silent. Even the grand old mahogany tree, the silent witness to their countless promises, seemed to bow its head in sorrow. Olivia's eyes, usually so full of light, filled with tears. Her voice was a fragile whisper. "Ethan, what does this mean for us?" Ethan held her hands tighter, his own heart breaking. It doesn't change how I feel about you," he stammered, his voice thick with emotion. "But we have to. We have to think responsibly." That night, they sat together under the stars, wrapped in a heavy silence, letting the weight of the doctor's words sink in. Their love had always felt like an unbreakable force, but now a harsh reality was demanding a sacrifice they never imagined. The days that followed were a storm of emotion. They wrestled with their thoughts, with their faith, and with each other. Friends offered well-meaning but unhelpful advice, and their families watched with worried hearts. But this was a battle Ethan and Olivia had to face alone, together. Ethan felt like he was being torn in two. He couldn't fathom a life without Olivia by his side. He thought to himself, "I love her too much to let her go. But what if my love puts her, and our future children, at risk?" The thought was unbearable. Olivia was equally heartbroken. Her mind raced with painful questions. "I love Ethan with every fiber of my being. But is love enough to ignore our responsibility to the life we might create?" They cried together, their tears mingling. They prayed for a sign, for a different answer, for a miracle. They debated every possibility, every option, but they kept coming back to the same difficult truth. Love alone couldn't solve this problem. One evening, they found themselves back at their special spot by the mahogany tree. The air was still, heavy with unspoken grief. It was Olivia who finally broke the silence, her voice soft but steady. Maybe love isn't just about holding on, Ethan. Maybe sometimes true love is knowing when it's time to let go. Ethan looked at her, his vision blurred by tears streaming down his face. He nodded slowly, the single movement carrying the weight of their shared sorrow. "It hurts. More than anything I've ever felt," he confessed. "But you're right. Love means choosing with wisdom, even when it shatters your own heart." The wedding was postponed, not because their love had failed, but because it was strong enough to honor life and embrace responsibility. They made the bravest decision of all, to choose a path of love that prioritized the well-being of others over their own desires. The months that followed were not easy. They supported each other from a distance, healing in their own time, and learning a profound lesson, that love could exist without possession, and that a deep connection didn't need to force a destiny that wasn't meant to be. Years went by. Life took them on different journeys. Then one day, they met again in the quiet serenity of a church garden. They saw each other not with the sting of loss, but with the warmth of healed hearts and shared history. They were friends, confidants, two souls forever, connected by a choice made from the deepest love. Ethan smiled, a gentle, genuine smile. "I never stopped loving you," he whispered. Olivia's face was calm and serene, her eyes filled with a peaceful light. "And I never stopped praying for you," she replied. As they walked away, they briefly held hands, not as a couple about to be married, but as two people who had learned one of life's most powerful truths. They had discovered that the truest measure of love is not found in the intensity of passion, but in the depth of its wisdom. Their story teaches us that true love isn't just about how deeply you feel. It's about how wisely you choose. Sometimes the most loving act is to let go, creating space for life and future generations to flourish in health and happiness. And in that act of letting go, hearts don't just break. They grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the unexpected blessings that life has in store. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the depths of the human spirit.